You are looking live at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which is in pain right now. Is it? It had this 16% correction here from 18,671 on July 11th down to 15,708 on August 5, which was that yen carry trade BS, and then it rallied up 15% up to 18,017 on August 22. And that's the day that right here of this Friday that Powell spoke at Jackson Hole. And ever since the markets figured out they're going to get a rate cut, it's done nothing but sell off. So the NASDAQ is dead red right now. You got to avoid this below the 50, just nothing but weakness. It's correcting. It's not going to be this way forever. We know at some point it'll get back above the 50, but for right now, it's in decline and you got to avoid it. You must respect the selling. When I'm doing well in the market, the NASDAQ's doing well. Most of my growth stocks, trade on the NASDAQ. So it makes it a little tougher for me as a swing trader of growth stocks. This is not a good market for us. I'm going to get to what is working, but this is definitely not working. So don't try to fight this trend here. That is definitely a trend from the high of 18,017 on August 22 to the low today of 16,984. Okay, so it's a very short time and it's just nothing but weakness and nothing good happens below this 50. You got to wait till it rallies back through there. And Nasdaq is dead red. It's hands off. There's nothing good happening here. We know the stocks that are driving it lower. You can see it's 3% below that 50 now. And just it's a weak index. It's just one to avoid. What is the strong index? Well, we know it's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. How do we know that? Well, it's above its moving averages. It's right there, just a tick below its 10, but 0.6% above its 21, which is magenta line here. So, it's Johnson and Johnson, and the United Healthcare is a big it's a price weighted index. And so some of these higher price stocks are driving it higher. Procter and Gamble's another one that's doing well in that group. Obviously, the Intels and Apple and Microsoft are not helping the tech stocks, but there's 30 stocks in the group, and it's the strongest index right now. The SPY is being dragged down by these magnificent seven. This one pulled back to its 50 today, closed just a tick above. If I go to the equal weighted S&P, this is RSP, you can see it's doing much better. It's 2.8% above the 50 and 0.9% above the 21. But I go back to the SPY, I'll toggle back here. You can see it's just right, just a tick above its 50. So those magnificent seven are the technology stocks are dragging down the S&P 500. The mid cap index, MDY, this one's pulled back to its 50 today. This one does not have much strength either. Just doing a little better than the NASDAQ. It looks a lot like the SPY. And then the small caps, pull back to the 50 today. So overall, just a lot of weakness in the market. There are some pockets of strength, which I'll get to. I don't really want to even look at the weak parts. I mean, just ignore them, avoid them. And if they start acting better, then we can buy them. But for right now, this is NVIDIA. It's a very important stock. It's lost, more than 10%, I believe, in the last, 11% in 2 days this week. Come on, man. That's a lot of pain. 11% for a stock this size. This is crazy. It'll be a buy at some point, but just not right now. Not while it's going down. We want to wait for the dip, and then when it bounces, then we buy. But this is just nothing but weakness here. Making lower lows, lower highs. That's the definition of a downtrend. Where she stops, nobody knows. But since they reported earnings last week, it's been weak. So you got to wait. You got to be patient. Don't jump in as soon as it shows a little sign of strength, because it could just be short selling like today. It sold off yesterday bigly, and then today we saw some, short covering, some profit taking, shorts taking profits and covering, and it drove up, it was up $1.50 or $2. And what happened? Just weakness into the close, and it closed much lower today, nearly 2% lower. So just don't get tricked into that stuff. Just a little bit of short covering shows a little bit of strength. That's not a bounce at all. I don't want to go through all these stocks. They're not buyable here. They're just weak. Microsoft, Google, it's all the same. This is just avoid, avoid, avoid at all costs. Okay. Apple looks the best out of all of them. And it's sliced, it's 50 today. Tesla, somebody was saying, oh, buy Tesla, it's strong. No, it's not. It's below its 50. It's probably going to get rejected there. What is the 50? 222. Yeah, so traded up there today and then got rejected. You could see that, it's consolidating within a base, but it's going to take time. So you just got to be patient. And, we're going to take a look and see what actually is working. What's working? This is what we have to observe in the market, whether you like it or not, and I don't like it, but it's too bad. Hard cheese, as they say, that the tobacco stocks are doing well. They're making new highs. It's one of the top 10 groups. I don't use tobacco. I have no use for tobacco, but the thought is that it's a defensive name. People are going to smoke in good times and bad times. They're going to vape or whatever they're going to do, regardless. So they're going to spend their money on this, and that's fine. So I'm just observing the strength here. No judgment. It's fine. BTI, if you want to own it, it's making new highs. It's definitely finding support at its 10 EMA. This is a beautiful trend. You know, doesn't matter if it's software or hardware, technology or tobacco. That is a nice trend, folks. Philip Morris is another one. Tobacco, same thing, making new highs. I mean, this thing's surfing like Kelly Slater, just hanging 10 on that 10 EMA. That's the thing of beauty. There's nothing to do there but count your money. And then Philip Morris, BTI, and then an MO, Altria is another one. And these guys pay huge dividends too. So not only are they appreciating, making new highs, this has got 7.5% yield, pays you just to hold it, so win-win right there, buddy. If you like dividend stocks, which is, a lot of people love dividend stocks, and that's kind of why this is a defensive name. And trading higher, making new highs, nothing wrong with that, right? I'm just observing here, showing you the strength. Did I buy this today? No, I'm not interested in buying this, but I'm just showing you the strength. What else is working in the market, Marty? Well, you could say defense is winning here. Defense wins championships. This is ERJ. We had this back on our ready list during this double bottom base period, and it's obviously ripped to new highs today. This is a defensive name that just, I mean, what can you say? Making new highs, a top 20 group. We like new highs. New highs are bullish, and these stocks are making new highs. So, just acknowledging strength there. This is Lockheed Martin, another one of these aerospace defense names, and it's just ripping to new highs as well. You can see the RS line just plunging right through the moving averages. So, that's showing relative strength. GE, I put this on my ready list because I wanted to get defensive names on my ready list, and I put in like Costco and Eli Lilly, and they're just not working. GE pulled back to its 50 yesterday, and found support there today, bounced a little bit, but that is not like that's like a pancake bounce. You can see it's just flat as a pancake there after this massive sell-off on Tuesday. So GE, even though it's in that group, it's not responding like some of these other ones that I'm showing you here. Northrop Grumman, another one making new highs. If you're going to buy one in the defensive group, I want one making new highs, being supported by the 10. I don't want something that's splat down at its 50. That looks horrible. It's just a broken egg down there. Just splat on the floor and not bouncing at all. HWM, How I Met My Mother. How I Met Your Mother. Wasn't that a show? I think it was. Anyway, Howmet Aerospace, pull back to its 20. It's a little bit of a bounce, 1.5%. Not what you really want to see though. Maybe tomorrow, so you can pull back here today. It's had buyers all day. 1.5%, not a real big bounce. I would look for something bigger, especially after this big move down. I mean, you're going to go down 3.7%. I want about 2% back at least the next day, and it didn't give us that. So not so great. for helmet. And then Heiko, HEI, I know some people in this one, they're very happy with it. Had this gyration after its earnings report on, what was that, the 27th? Certainly has recovered, now finding support at the 10. So the aerospace and defense names look fantastic. Curtiss-Wright is another one. Pull back to its 21. Nothing wrong with that. That group is strong. Insurance, what can I say? I mean, I'm just showing what's showing strength here. You don't get the market you want, you get the market you get. And you can't always get what you want, you get what you need. If you're not interested in insurance or aerospace or tobacco or utilities or REITs or staples, then this is not your kind of a market. But this is a Heritage Insurance up, making new highs today. This group is not as strong, and there's a lot of different types of insurance. Aflac is another one. Insurance and health. This one is strong, a top 10 group, and you can see this one's just ripping higher. And some of the stocks within the Aflac group. If you have Market Surge, it'll show you the groups here. So you could just go and look at, if you think one is too extended, you can go look at another one like Oscar, or that one's setting up in a base, or TRUP. This is in the same group, but this is more insurance for cats and dogs in the Canada, US, Puerto Rico. This one pulled back to its 21. A little more actionable than some of these other ones that are just making new highs every day, like Allstate. This one's off to the races. You're in good hands. That's the Mayhem commercial. Those commercials cost a lot of money, so your premiums have to go up. They have to pay for that stuff. Bro, another one making new highs today. Insurance just super strong. AJG is one of our leading stocks, making new highs. Cincinnati Financial. This one's property and casualty making new highs. And then Chubb, this is a Warren Buffett stock. Bought some recently, and obviously this one's just taking off here, way above, it's 3.4% above its 10. That thing, that's strength. That's what you want to hold. That's what you want to own, right? Stuff that's making new highs, going higher. I'm just the messenger here. I'm not judging. I'm not buying this stuff. I'm just observing strength. I have to have the discipline to be able to sit out and kind of let this pass, because this too shall pass. When I see stuff like utilities, like Wisconsin Energy or WEC making new highs every day, utilities, folks, tobacco, defense, insurance, utilities, REITs, this is about as defensive as it can get. Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E, making new highs. I mean, these guys in Northern California have set off explosions in San Francisco and forest fires, and they've been sued and bankrupt. Doesn't matter. They just go to the PUC and get rubber stamped whatever they want. They raise rates, and customers have to pay, and the stock is making new highs. Thank you very much. Duke Energy. Yeah, okay, making new highs. I mean, what else, that's a thing of beauty, right? Look at the weekly chart. I mean, just it made this little base, now ripping higher. Looks like it's heading for a stage 3 area base. So just fantastic. In EE, I did put this one on our ready list because you can see the setup here. And it's just trading tight within a base and tight within a base, but eventually it's just grinding higher. As long as you see this green line moving higher and it stays above the green line, you're making money. So I did buy this one just, because I want to play the game. I want to have skin in the game, and utilities are making money for now. I don't plan on holding this forever and a day, but it's doing fine. So it just, probe allows me to, just be involved with the market so I don't fall asleep. Edison, this is Southern California power company, and this one is just ripping to new highs. I wonder how those Southern California folks are liking their new power bills. But anyway, I'm gonna move on. So you've seen tobacco, you've seen the defensive stocks, you've seen the insurance stock, you've seen the utilities. But when the REITs get going, this is really scary. The REITs are making new highs. Not a lot of growth here. And you know, the commercial REITs supposedly are, you know, in pretty bad shape, right? Because not as many people are going back to work, or those spaces are empty. But you know, so you really have to be careful on what type of REITs, like residential. CCI is another one in this group. You can see 33. So this group has been climbing. It was way down the list not too long ago. They own wireless towers, okay, in United States, Australia, Puerto Rico, for the wireless service provider. So that sounds legit, like a serious need. You can see this is a big cup with handle pattern. So a breakout here would not surprise me, especially with the strength of the rest of the group. There you can see this stage 1 base happening for Crown Castle. That looks pretty good. Might show up on our ready list because you just got to make the adjustment. This is Sunrise Realty Trust, commercial real estate in the southern part of the United States. So be careful with that one. A recent IPO, but it certainly looks good so far. And you know, they do not have a track history of trading or reporting earnings here. So you got to really be careful with that one. That's SUNS. What else do we have? OHI is another REIT that healthcare facilities, which we know that these primary, long-term facilities have been doing really well. So this one making new highs. Also, SBRA, another REIT making new highs. I mean, owns 378 healthcare related properties. That's Sabra. And the last one in the group is, Welltower. This is another one of those senior living healthcare senior living facilities. And this one's making new highs too. So if I go to the was it Ensign Group? Yeah, these managed healthcare stocks are also doing pretty well. Along with the REITs, this is a number 2 group, the long-term care group, which has been doing really well. But I want to especially point out these staples here. This is Reynolds, Reynolds wrap, the container packaging, aluminum foil, yeah, cooking products. Yeah, this is making a new high. You can see it broke out of a stage 1 base. Earnings line heading north, and I'm just pointing this out. I didn't buy it. I don't own it. I'm just showing you this is where some strength is. Uh, Reynolds Consumer Products making new highs. Procter and Gamble. This is your, razor blades, diapers, tissues, healthcare products, toothpaste. Dow Jones Component making new highs. So, Kimberly Clark, another really defensive name. Diapers, baby wipes, bathroom tissues, paper towels, paper products, making new highs. So just an observation, folks. Colgate, I think you know these guys, Colgate Palmolive, their toothbrushes, toothpaste, dishwashing liquids, conditioner, shampoos, soaps. That's making new highs. So you can see how defensive this market is. Overall, pretty weak, but there are pockets of strength. I just showed you tobacco, defense, insurance, utilities, REITs. I showed you some staples. Healthcare is another area. United Healthcare Group, United Health, making new highs. Once again, a Dow Jones component, 556 billion market cap. That is no small stock. And then Cigna, another one in this medical managed care group. This one actually is actionable here, right there around that 365 area. So that one could show up on our ready list as well. There's a couple of them that look okay to me. And what was the other one? Yeah, one that I actually did buy, that one of these ARDT, just an IPO. Just have some skin in the game. It had this IPO base, made a new high, yesterday? And then pulled back a little bit, but it was up nearly 2% today. Just for a probe. I mean, it's a top 11 group, so what the heck. Just like I say, you got to play the game that's given you, not the one that you want, right? So that's just the game we have right now. And you just got to be patient. If you're a growth stock investor, the AI trade is not over. It's just in timeout for a while. Got a little frothy, got a little overcrowded trade, and we got to, it's got to unwind a little bit, and that's going to take some time. So we'll just pass on that for now. One stock that is enjoying a little bit of a short squeeze here is ASTS. This one has a high tide flag pattern, which is a pretty rare pattern. I'd say from about that 10 area. The $10 area is where, I'd say this is where you plant your flag. It runs up to what, 39, okay, and then pulls this little flag pattern. This week it's up 14%, not bad. Today it was up what, 12.5%. So definitely one to watch out for. What can you expect out of a high tide flag? Well, that could double. I mean, from the $30 mark, that would not surprise me. 30 to 60 in time. It's not going to do it tomorrow, but telecom cable service group is 23, and this one definitely a super strong stock that has a short squeeze. If I just go to like the 5-minute chart, you can see here. Started a little bit yesterday, and then today got an upgrade, and they had some news, and this thing just really squeezed the shorts out here. Little pullback into the close, but still a nice day, up 12.5%. Another stock that I like that could appear on our ready list, CPNG. I'm not really fond of this group right now, but I do like the setup. Got purged of all the sellers here. Everybody who wanted out got out there. That's got to be August 5th, and now it's just rallied back through its 50, pulled back with light volume here the last few weeks, and now today popped a little bit. So yeah, I kind of like that, right around 23.78. If it could get above 23.78, above that old high of 23.77, I would like that. Hit 23.94 today. So definitely one to watch. CPNG. I would say 23.78 above that, and should be pretty good. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry we don't have a market that is really excelling in the areas that we like to, but you just got to take what it gives you. It's just like if you're a football team and you want to run the ball and they got 11 players stacked in the box, well, you have to pass. And so that's what you have to do, is just make the adjustment. It will get back to a point where stocks like Nvidia, are back in favor at some point. And AMD, these stocks are not going to be down forever. AVGO, this is Broadcom, yeah, below the 50. I saw Qualcomm was even, below its 200 today. So this is not going to last forever. These are quality names. You're going to get them at a bargain basement price, but just not now, not today, probably not this week or next week, but you're just going to have to sit tight. When they start to move, we'll notice them. And as they move through their moving averages, then we can jump on those. But for now, it's defense, defense, defense. You're not going to change it. And anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, thank you for watching. We never give up, except for in honor of the great Steve Jobs. I have one more thing, and that is earnings. Companies reporting earnings now are just being sold. DICK's reported a fantastic quarter, a beat and raise. They raised significantly. The market doesn't care. They're just going to sell on any news. It's buy the rumor and sell the news. I mean, there's very few stocks that are reporting and blasting higher to new highs. Zscaler reported last night. They reported accelerating billings, and this thing sold off nearly 20% today. Just a horrible time for tech stocks and retail stocks to be reporting earnings. Now, Dollar Tree, they did not report a good quarter. They reported a horrible quarter, and they got punished for it, down 22%. After hours today, HPE, I did see where they're kind of saying that they had a good quarter, and AI is doing well, but it's down 3%. It really doesn't matter what they say. They're just being sold. These stocks are being sold. AI. Tom Siebel's company, down 15%. They had they lost less than expected, but the market doesn't care. Like I said, they're just going to sell these things. So look out. And you say, why don't you just short them? Well, I'm not going to short an earnings report. It's still a coin flip. There's no guarantee. So your risk, your reward, there's no advantage there. CRDO, this one had a nice base here, and now it's going to Slice it's 50 tomorrow, trading at 29. So I guess somebody didn't like that report. I don't know. AV, a defensive name. I did not see what they had to say, down 3%. So not too good there. Anyway, I'll have more in the morning on these companies that are reporting earnings tonight and tomorrow. So anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Thank you for watching. And this too shall get better. It will pass.